Mark Romanack of Fishing 411 TV teams up with Bryan Darland of Jay's Sporting Goods to showcase the SteelShad lineup of blade baits. Mark and Bryan cast these lures at fish they found using Garmin LiveScope technology. Our boys are all in, enjoying some good vibrations en route to an epic day on the water at Flint Wilderness Resort.
Bryan.
Well, that didn't take very long.
First cast. Is that a good omen?
Well, one never knows, do they?
A woman.
Nice walleye.
That's a beautiful fish. That's what we're looking for, man.
Oh, yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, got angry there.
He's a little angry, isn't he? Did not like the looks of that, did he? There you go. Congratulations. And what a start.
First fish. Look at that. Beautiful fish. Look at that. That's what we came for, that blade bait. Boy, he really clobbered that thing. Gorgeous fish. And they're right here. Oh, right on his head. Come on, eat it. Oh, they all scattered.
There's fish.
There you go.
There's a hookup.
Set this down.
We have a couple of interesting goals today. The first one, of course, is just have fun, catch fish. And I think Bryan and I are gonna have some fun catching some fish today. But we also want to do something a little different. We want to talk about an overlooked presentation. So we'll spend some time today discussing just that. Something that we think is a great way to catch fish that a lot of people just simply don't know about. And we'll get more detail here in just a second, but let's see if we can get this fish in the boat.
What you got there?
I don't know, man. You're giving me a pretty good tussle here. I haven't had an eyeball on him yet.
Oh, nice walleye.
Oh, look at that. That's
Look
what
at
I
that.
want to see. Beautiful Flint Lake walleye. We're at a place today called Flint Wilderness Resorts. We've been here before. We'll be here again. This place has got it going on. Lots and lots and lots of walleyes. And of course, that makes me a happy camper. Right there's the lure that got the job done. It's a blade bait, and it's called a SteelShad blade bait. It's fast becoming one of our favorite blade baits out there. The thing with blade baits is that they've been around forever, but very few people use these things. It's a unique lure. You fish it like a jig, but it's got a wobble like a crankbait. They got an enormous amount of action, and I'm here to tell you that walleyes just chew these things, and I think we're going to show you today how effective a blade bait can be at catching walleyes.
I just watched it. I just watched it eat on the Garmin.
Oh, look at there! Look at that! That's
out.
A beautiful thing. That is a beautiful thing. Let me give you a little assistance here. There you go,
Look at that.
Bryan.
Look how that thing choked that blade bait down there. T-boned it. Isn't that cool? Oop. Come on, buddy. Check that out. They sure like those blade baits.
Oh, I know. I think that's going to be a real good presentation today.
I agree.
You know what I like about blade baits is their search tools. You can fish them fast. And in a situation where you're hunting for fish, looking for fish, you can cover a lot of ground really quickly, about twice as fast as if you were fishing a jig. Don't get me wrong, I love jigs. Jigs catch a lot of walleyes, but a blade bait fishes like a jig, but much faster. And in a situation right here where we're at, in a remote wilderness camp, we've only fished this body of water a couple times. We just don't know where these fish are going to be. We've got to cover water to find them, and a blade bait is the fastest way to do it.
Fishing 411 TV is brought to you in part by Cisco Fishing Systems, your fishing equipment experts. Fishing 411 TV is brought to you in part by ProCure, ruthlessly effective bait scents.
Good job, Brian.
There we go. Well, that's fighting a little better. All right. Right species.
Right species?
Yes, sir.
Excellent. Let me get a landing net going here for you. Well, that's a good one.
There we go.
There you go, man. There you go, my friend.
Oop, came right off. Popped off.
That's actually going to make it a little easier.
There we go.
Perfect.
Look at that fish.
That is a perfect walleye.
Another cool piece of technology that has developed in recent years has been the live sonar. In this particular instance, this is the Garmin LiveScope. It has an LVS 34 transducer, which is the LiveScope Plus system. And what they've done with this is they've taken an ice bundle with a head unit. In this particular instance, it's that GPS Map 943 XSV unit. And they've mounted their head unit from another boat onto this ice bundle, which tells you that there's two things here. One, you can take it on portable, interesting places like this. You can take it on fly-ins, you can take it wherever else, or you can take it ice fishing as well. So what that's done is with the live technology, in an area like this, I mean, we're fishing post-spawn walleyes that are coming back out of a river. They're covered across the flat. Do you need it? No, but it sure does make it more fun, and it allows you to be able to hone in on those groups of fish and really keep at them.
Oh my, just wipe the smile off my face. My goodness, this is so much fun. And it's one of the cool things about Flint Wilderness Resort here is that this is a drive-to destination, but we've got literally flying quality fishing going on here. Lots and lots of quality walleye.
There you go.
Woo-hoo, baby!
Good job, Mark.
And like I was saying, the beauty of this place is that you can drive here and bring your own gear and have flying quality fishing, and that is just something that's special. Flint Wilderness Resort. We're going to take a break from the action for a minute and talk a little bit about our setup here. If you're looking for a rod that fishes a blade bait very, very nicely, it's going to be a spinning rod. It's going to be something that's probably got a medium action. I've decided to choose here personally. I have a 7-foot 1-inch rod that's a medium action. It's made by Eagle Claw. It's called the Flyover. They call it the snap rod, but that medium action is what you're looking for. You're going to load that up, of course, with a spinning reel, and in this case, it's a 25 size spinning reel. It's the perfect size here. I've loaded the reel with braid, and in this case I've gone with a thin diameter braid, 10-pound test braid, but I haven't tied the braid directly to the blade bait. I don't want to do that. I want an invisible fluorocarbon leader, so at the terminal end I've added about 3 foot of 15-pound test fluorocarbon, and then a small snap, and the snap goes on the blade bait. The reason I've chose 15-pound test, which is actually heavier than the main line, is because it has a little body to it. It's stiff, and as a result, it doesn't come over and catch inadvertently on the hooks of a blade bait. A blade bait has 2 treble hooks on it, and so using a heavier leader helps keep that leader from tangling on the blade bait and helps keep the main line from tangling on it. So if you're looking for an all-purpose blade bait rod, it should be about 7 foot or thereabouts, should be a medium action, should be a spinning rod, and it should be set up with braid and fluorocarbon leader. If you do that, you got the perfect rod for catching Ontario walleyes.
Try and cast right on top of one of these fish heads here.
Oh, look at that. There's a pile of them there.
Yes, there is. Right back this way. You should be right about in them, aren't you?
I'm hoping
60
I am.
feet or so.
I had unfortunately made my cast before they appeared on the live screen.
Looks like they're moving.
That's one of the things I've noticed about fishing live is you start to appreciate how much fish are constantly on the move. Missed him. They are constantly moving, and we get the sense that fish are in a spot and they stay in a spot. That's just not true. They're constantly evolving and moving around. And, so it's hard to stay
There's
on.
one.
There's one. All right, Bryan. That's my boy.
There we go.
Boy, that's looking like a good fish, too.
Yeah, it is. Good tug. Just cast out there. Saw him on the live. Cast out there. Felt the...
Oh, yeah. That's what we want.
Yeah,
that's a beautiful fish right there.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. Beautiful.
Yes, sir.
Nicely done,
Yes, sir.
Bryan.
I'll take that. Yeah, just cast on out there and get after... get out there, let the bait hit the bottom, start vibrating it up a little bit. Just kind of wait. You pendulum the bait back is the big idea there. Feel what's going on. Boy, he came up and got it good.
He did get it good.
Fishing 411 TV is brought to you in part by the Ultimate Sports Show Tour and Abyss Batteries. Power your pursuit. Fishing 411 TV is brought to you in part by Big Bite Baits and SteelShad Premier Fishing Lures. Smokercraft Incorporated and Suzuki Outboards presents the 411 on Fishing.
You know, if you've watched Fishing 411 in the past, you've probably watched my dad and I go on some pretty incredible adventures. And to me, if I had to sum up these adventures into one word, it's remote. Some of the coolest places that we've been to have been where there's just simply not people. And one of the things that I feel like is extremely important when it comes to these remote trips is safety. And for me, that safety comes in the form of communication. How do I communicate to someone if there is a problem? And the way that I do that is with this little unit right here in my hand. It's called the Garmin 66i. Now this particular unit right here has GPS, so I can use it as GPS maps, have waypoints, routes, trails, that sort of thing. But the cool thing about this particular unit is that it's teamed up with inReach. And what inReach is allows us to contact through satellite anybody from just about anywhere else in the world. So if something was to happen when we're out on the water or we're in these remote areas, I can either text family or friends if it's not a big thing. But if it ends up being a real emergency, on the side of this unit right here is this SOS. I can flip that open and push that, and I know that a GPS location of where I'm sitting just got sent to the authorities, and they can come and save me in the case of an emergency. And so one of the cool things about these remote trips is the fact that there's nobody out here. But you want to have something that's able to save you if things go the wrong way. And so the inReach technology is in a lot of the different Garmin units. Like for instance, this is that 66i with the GPS, along with a lot of their other handheld GPSs. Can you get inReach? Or you can get just a little small inReach unit that connects to your smartphone, and you can text through your phone as well. So there's a lot of options out there with the inReach products.
Oh my word. I'm just going to set my rod down here. Bryan, you're putting on a show. You're just putting on a show today,
We're finding some fish.
So this is fun.
This is great. Oh, look at him on the live. You can see him fighting in right there.
Actually, it looks like there's a couple that are, the one you're fighting is for coming
Oh, look
in.
at the other one coming up. Check him out.
Check him out. Yeah, look at that.
He's coming up asking questions.
Ooh, that's a good fish.
Hey, what are you doing?
Ooh, that's a good fish, man. Watching the live instead of paying attention to our fish.
It's just so much fun.
Well, that's cool because you saw the fish on live, you cast it to it, you caught him. We watched the fish being reeled in on live. I think that's the point where we should be paying more attention to actually fighting the fish. Once you've hooked them. Good job, Bryan. Good job.
Pretty cool.
You know, SteelShad blade baits have rapidly become one of our favorite lures for blade bait fishing, and they come in a wide variety of sizes and colors. For walleye, I would strongly recommend you're looking at either the quarter or the half ounce, and for me, the go-to is the half ounce. Half ounce is heavy enough you can fish water from 6 feet out to 20-25 feet if you need to, and so it's a very versatile size. So half ounce is what I like. Today it was a really bright, sunny day. The chromes really shined. The chrome finishes are definitely going to be, your metallic finishes are going to be superior in highlight, bright light conditions. But if you find yourself fishing on a cloudy day, definitely the painted versions. White is always good. There's many other good colors, but definitely the painted versions are going to produce better on cloudy, overcast conditions. The metallic finishes are going to do the job when you're fishing in highlight, bright, sunny conditions.
There's some pretty good fish sitting right over there.
Yeah, there's a fish right there.
There you go.
Bryan just talked me right into that. I love it. So I absolutely love it. Live is so much fun. You know, we're using a Garmin LiveScope here, and the ability to see fish, cast to them, watch them react to your baits is it's earth-shattering, to say the least. Man, oh man. I just can't imagine what the future is going to bring.
Definitely changed the game. Ooh, nice fish. Very nice
Look
fish.
at that one.
Nice fish.
You got to have him in the net, Bryan. Get him in the net.
Come on, buddy. And he's
Oh,
in.
yes.
All right.
Yes.
Look at that.
Gorgeous walleyes. I don't know how many tens of thousands of walleyes I've caught in my life, but every one is fun, and the next one is even more fun. Boy, it's hard to beat wilderness walleye fishing.
Well, you better get that fish back in the water. I'm marking more fish here, Mark.
You afraid to make a catch? You might catch one.
Well, hey, if you're going to play that game, I mean, let's just see what I can
take
find.
turns. We can just take turns, you know. So I'll take. This is my turn. I'm happy with this turn. Very much so. I'm going to drop this one on the bunk board because I think he is over what they call the slot. You can only have one fish over 18 inches here, so and this fish is clearly over 18 inches. So the regulations in Ontario are important. You need to understand them. It's special fish management in my mind. I think every place should have slot limits because when Ontario started doing these a few years ago, we watched the fishing go from good to exceptional. Fisheries management with slots really does make the fishing that much better. This guy is going back because he's over the slot.
Fishing 411 TV is brought to you in part by Striker Brands. Go early, go late, go prepared. Fishing 411 TV is brought to you in part by Fishhawk Electronics. Going fishing without a fishhawk is called boating.
Excellent, Bryan. Excellent. Let me put this rod down and pick up a landing.
Nice
net.
fish.
One of the
Nice
things
fish.
I was just thinking about is how much of a value it is. Ooh, look at that. Having your own boat here. People come to Canada all the time. That's a beautiful fish. They come to Canada all the time, and they often use the boats that are provided by the lodges. And, you know, that's a cool thing. I understand that, but they're going to be basic boats. They're not going to have electric motors on them, so your boat control is going to be limited. You bring your own boat with you. It's equipped with good sonar, good electric motor. All of a sudden now boat control becomes something that you can maintain and catch yourself a whole bunch of walleyes just like that. I would be lost right now if I had to fish out of just a basic boat with no electric motor. We're putting the smackdown on fish, and it's about boat control. And look at the environmental conditions we're fishing in. We got 20, 25 mile an hour sustained wind. You don't have boat control in those conditions if you don't have an electric motor on the boat. It's just that simple.
That's right.
You know, if you're coming up to Ontario and you're going to do a little spring walleye fishing, I'd highly recommend that you look very closely at any bodies of water that have rivers in them. And where a river flows into a lake is always going to be a magnet. It's always going to be a place where you're going to find walleye. And most of these walleye up here like flowing water. A lot of them will spawn in flowing water. But when the spawn is over, they drop back into the main lake. And that's where we're at right now. We're on a flat adjacent to a river, and this flat is just literally covered with fish. And so you just move around on the flat until you find them, and then it's game on. But if you can find flowing water, chances are you're going to find walleyes in Ontario everywhere you go. There's fish.
There you go.
Man, oh man, oh man, man, oh man. One of the cool things about blade baits is that you can tell when they're working. In other words, you can feel the action. I call it buzz. When you lift up a blade bait, you feel the rod tip vibrating. If you lift up the blade bait and you're not feeling it vibrate, it is fouled, and so you need to reel it in and real quickly go back out again.
Nice fish. Nice fish, Mark.
Look at that. And like I was saying, it's the buzz is the way I describe the action of a blade bait. When you lift it up and it starts to wobble, what happens is it gives this vibration. It goes right up your line, right to your rod tip, right to your hands, and you feel
Just
it.
like that.
Look at there. Bryan, I was running here. I
talking
can
about feeling the
multitask.
buzz?
I can multitask here.
Another nice fish.
I can talk about fish and land fish at the same time.
Another nice
That's a good
quality
one.
fish.
That's a good one. Look at that.
Not like you were saying. Feel the buzz.
That is perfect right there. A couple of brothers right there.
Absolutely. Same pod too. I'm pretty sure that one you caught was in that exact same pod. They're all about 40 feet out. I fished into it. Same thing.
And they're not going anywhere. So I think when we let these go, we'll go catch a couple more. But you feel that buzz. You know that blade bait is working. And when you have that confidence, man, I can't tell you how much that works.
Just like that. Just like that. Oh, quality fish.
Oh, that is a quality fish.
That's a good one.
Hang on here, Bryan. I'm going to get the net for you. That is a quality fish. I love walleyes, but man, I love them when they got a little bit more beef to them.
That was even cooler because we were watching the bait come up off the bottom, sitting there doing the vibration like we were talking about earlier, and then that fish, you could see it coming right at it, and all of a sudden just nose right down, whack. There he was.
You got a little mark on the side of him here. Of course, people don't understand in the springtime, these are post-spawn walleyes, but it was just a few days ago they spawned. When they're close proximity, they get these skin lesions, and it's really unsightly, but the reality is it doesn't hurt the fish. If you were to keep this and fillet that fish, and you'd never know. But a lot of people look at that and go, ooh, that grosses me out, I'm going to let that fish go. Just let them go into my live well. I'll take all you don't want. So, but that skin lesion is no big deal. It just doesn't look good.
Yeah.
It just looks unsightly.
Yep.
And Bryan, double header. Oh my goodness. That's sweet right there. That is sweet. Every man for himself. Oof. Look at that. You got a good fish. I got a good fish.
All right.
Oh man.
Look at that.
That's one in the scoop.
There's one.
Two in the scoop. Look at that. Hey, my name is Mark Romanack, and you've been watching Fishing 401. You want to catch a pile of fish? Come to Flint Wilderness Resort. See you same time, same place next week.
Closed captioning is provided courtesy of Precision Trolling Data, the Troller's Bible. Fishing 411 TV comes to you courtesy of Offshore Tackle, Yakima Bait Company, Suzuki Marine, Jay's Sporting Goods, Smooth Move Seats, Garmin Marine, Bill Lewis Lures, Starcraft Marine, Niagara Falls USA, and Eagle Claw.